This video focuses on passing through time, expense, and materials in QuickBooks Online Plus. I am in my client's QBO Plus file from QuickBooks Online Accountant, as you can see here. And you do need to be in the Plus level of QuickBooks Online in order to take advantage of, tagging customers to expense or a check or passing time through, because time tracking is in QBO Plus, etc. I like to start with the settings for this one. So you go to the gear icon, company settings under settings, and click on advanced. Automatically invoice unbilled activity. I've mentioned this or showed this in related videos. This will literally tell QuickBooks Online to automatically create invoices and either don't tell you, notify you, or just create a reminder on the home page, when you log in to go create the invoices from any unbilled activity. So if you want to control what unbilled time, expense, and material would go to an invoice, obviously leave it unchecked. The other thing is the time tracking. Do you want to add the customer field to timesheets? And that will allow me to pass through time to an invoice. And I'm just going to start with Monday, and we'll click Save. It'll be nice to have the service field on the timesheet too, because again, that service field is a two-sided item, which is another important part of this pass-through time and expense to invoices. In QBO Plus, you can track not just inventory, but double-sided items. So the cost, right, the COGS account, as well as the revenue for one item. So you want to be able to add the service field to timesheet so that the service item will be on there, and that's what's going to end up on the invoice anyway. So I'm going to click Save here. The other one is expenses, and you want to click the pencil icon to edit the bill and expenses. Show items table on expense is important for the two-sided item. So it's not just about account details, it's about item details too, and also track expenses and items by customer. So I have all that done. I'm going to click Done here in the bottom. And now I'm going to click the plus sign, and let's go to a single time activity. This would work with a weekly timesheet too. We're going to choose Abby Adams. She is the vendor or employee. You can do location and class tracking. I'm going to leave them blank for now, but the customer, right? Adams Candy Shop and the service item. And we'll say that Abby was doing, some tree removal. And, we're going to bill her out, although you could put it on her record, but we'll bill it out at, $25 an hour, because that's what is going to show up on the invoice, though you might be paying Abby, 12 or 15, hopefully at least 15. And we'll say she did, 4 hours. You can put a description, and you can even enter start and end times. There's no clock, though. If you need that, really, you're talking T-Sheets, so check out tsheets.com. We'll go ahead and click Save and Close. Now, so this is going to tag that time activity, which is non-posting, but to the customer that I can create an invoice from. And then we'll just go, we've already talked about delayed charge in the accounts receivable video you'll find on QuickBooks University, but let's just go write a check. And we'll say, it's to Chris Markley, he's a subcontractor, right? And I could either do an account detail and make it billable to a customer, or I could do an item as well. And that's why we added those items to expense or check forms. So I'll choose the product and service, and we'll say he did some installation and, took about 3 hours. And you're going to tag it to Adams Candy Shop as well. Make it billable. That's going to pass it through. If you just want it to show up on a report, tagging that expense or cost of goods sold, don't check the billable box. If you want it to go to an invoice, check the billable box. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. So we have some time, we have some expense. I could also tag, a product and service that I want to pass through to a customer. And now I can either go to transaction sales, or I can dig into Adams Customer Center, and you'll see I have unbilled activity, right? So if we look at Adams Candy Shop, again, there's some time, there's some expense, and total unbilled amount is $315. I can start the invoice. Or like I showed in the managing accounts receivable video, if you go to an invoice and just choose Adam, the drawer will pop open on the right, and there's the billable time that I have against Adam, and then the billable expense there. And you just add it to the invoice, and that's passing time, expense, or material through to an invoice. Now, there is a cool report to consider with this. If we go to Reports, All Reports, and then Review Sales, you scroll down, you'll see unbilled time, unbilled charges. We go ahead and run the unbilled charges report. And again, these charges have not yet gone to an invoice, right? So it's a good report to have, and maybe customize and save those customizations. And this might be a report, if you've checked out my video on auto sending reports, to send to your client, weekly, so they can see the stuff that has yet to be charged or put on an invoice for their customers.